Hello guys, this is Maza, thejrocker. How are you? Today I'm going to talk about another concert experience here in Osaka, Japan with another jerk band. So this was my first time ever seeing this jerk band live and I was super excited. It was after school, so I didn't have much time to prepare or anything, but I did my best to prepare myself. Yes, you had. This jerk band is called The Sound BHD, and this is Yu, who used to be in Licks, his new band that he's together with. He came in, he was a sport member, then he became an official member and everything. So I've been looking forward to see his band, so it was nice. So this concert was located at Holiday Osaka, and yesterday was February 10th, 2017. So let's get straight to it, and I've actually written everything up because it's so much this time, so bear with me. I came there around 30 minutes before they were opening because, as I said, I didn't have much time, so I did my best. A guy came out and was reading up numbers, and a few people who actually bought tickets, bought tickets before the concert day, and I was like, oh no, not again. It is really like that, isn't it? And then we're lining up, and then we get downstairs for a few stairs, down in the building. We got flyers, and I got like an anketo, like an anket where you can, fill in how the live was, but I actually forgot it. Maybe I can turn it in some other time. Bad Maza, yes, I forgot. I could have been in the front row because this was a very small venue and it was not many fans, but my body was kind of very, very bad. In bad shape yesterday. I'm not sure why. Maybe I'm stressed out or something. I'm very tired. So I decided to be like in the back. This is not usually my usual self when I go to your concerts. It was the first time ever I experienced that my body has been so bad, in such a bad shape, because I was so tired. I'm sorry about that, but I will make it up to the Sun BHD someday when I will see them live again, because I did my best. When I came home, I was straight to bed and fell asleep right away, and that's not usually me. So something was definitely wrong. But today I feel better, so it was something little. So I was standing in the back, a little bit in the back, and I heard the bass, the guitar, and the drums playing before the concert started. And there were other 14 fans there as well, so I was not the only one. And then there were hardcore fans, of course, who were standing in the front row. Always, as always. I bought merchandise before the concert because you never know. With experience before, I'm not gonna take that risk. And they had a gift box, and I was like, why is there no gift box? But I realized why later. And then the concert was not full, as I said, but it was still good. The lights went down and the curtains went off, black curtains, and you could see their backs standing, I was like waiting. I think we waited like 30 minutes before when we came in, before the concert started, and the curtain went off and you could see their backs. And their intro was so scary but so cool, and I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be a good concert. Even though I was very, very weak, my body was weak, but I was like, this is gonna be a good concert. I'm gonna make the best out of it. Just make sure that I'm not gonna pass out. So I was holding myself into like this barrier thing, And what happened then? The concert was around 2 hours, which was very long. They had small breaks in between, but they never really went off stage in between the breaks. They would like turning the backs to the audience and just relax, and then they continued with the show. There were one song that really caught my attention. I don't really remember the name of it because it was my first time ever that I heard it, but it was very, very, calm, and I was like, oh my god, this is a good song, and I love it. I'm gonna search for it on the internet later. It was like a calm song, like not a headbang song, but a very calm. It was beautiful, and I love it to death. And so I'm gonna talk about the members right now in between. Daisuke Darkside is the vocalist. His voice is so unique, I've never heard a voice like that before, even though I've been listening to them for a while, but his voice is unique. I mean, it's insane. He's so cool. He's so I'm out of words. And he still got this amazing guitar skills like he always have, and I always get amazed by him. No talk about it, he's amazing. Well, bassist Ju, she is amazing because she's a female, of course, and I love female bassists. I love female members at all. When it comes to jerk bands, if there are girls in a jerk band, I love it. There's no talk about it. I love it. And then we have the drummer Hiro. He was super cool. Kako is sitting there and drumming and everything. I mean, this whole band together, they suit each other well, you know. Right now I feel like my English words are a little bit messed up, I'm sorry, but this band is very perfect together, you know. They are so different, and that's what makes this band so perfect, because they are different and they are together as a band. It's cool. Because their outfits and makeup was so nice, and they put up an incredible performance, and they had so many amazing songs, and I just wanted to headbang, even though I couldn't headbang. I really wanted, I felt like I want to, but I can't because my head won't allow it. I know I'm gonna get very, very dizzy if I do, so for the first time ever I didn't headbang during a concert, but I guess these days are gonna come as well, right? And during Walking Dead, the new song, the new PV, they wanted fans to get closer. Daisuke wanted fans to get closer to the scene, you know, to the scene, but the hardcore fans obviously were already there, and they were basically headbanging their heads off. These fans were very laid back, I'm just gonna tell you. For being Japanese fans, they were very laid back, and the first time me ever experienced that. The Fortune fans were crazy, and I didn't expect anything else, because I know how Fortune fans are when they go to a Jiro concert, so that's it. If I had more energy, I would be in the front row as well. No doubt about it. I would have been there if I would feeling better. Let's see what happened then. And then a guy a little bit from me, you know, not far. I mean, like a meter or something from me. I was looking at him, who was looking at me during the concert. I was like, I recognized that guy, and I knew it was Shihiro, who used to be in Licks together with you. You know, they had a duo together, but they are now not a duo anymore. And I realized that it was him because I recognized him from earlier. I'm gonna talk about that later. Why I recognized him, he was looking at me, I was like, I know it's you, but I'm not sure what I'm gonna say, or if I'm gonna say anything to you, because I remember you, but yeah. So it's cool to see him as well. And then during 2 songs, they had some help from 2 other members from Magistina Saga, which is also a jerk band who is on the same label as the Zombie HDR on Starway Records. They had help from their vocalist Yuri, who's also a female member, and their guitarist Urugi, that's his name, Urugi. I'm also a fan of this band, but I haven't been for very long, so I'm still struggling with their names and everything. And it was amazing to see them all together on the stage, because they pulled up 2 amazing songs together, you know, and it was nice to see, even though the size of the stage were very small, but they were very cool. And this was a very dark, scary, cool, rad concert, I'm gonna put it into words. And in between, Daisuke were talking to the audience like, thank you so much for coming, really, thank you so much from our heart and everything, thank you for coming here in Osaka and everything. And then they went off stage, you know, and I was like, this concert had been going on for 2 hours, are they gonna do an encore or not? I'm not sure if these fans can actually put up an encore, I'm not sure, but I was very surprised by the result. I'll get back to you, and I'm gonna talk about the encore soon. Maza is back, and I'm gonna continue with this concert experience with the Zombie HD from yesterday's live at Holiday Osaka. And I'm just gonna tell you, if you're wondering why I don't wearing any makeup, because usually when I'm home and I'm not going anywhere, I don't usually wear any makeup, so bear with me without any makeup, alright? So I'm gonna talk about the encore, and the thing was, the Fortune fans and the hardcore fans, Japanese hardcore fans, were pulling up an amazing encore. I mean, they were screaming their lungs out. I mean, there were like 10 of them, and they were screaming their lungs out. I did my best to clap along, even though I couldn't really scream. And they actually came back out, and I was like, ooh. And they performed one more song, because they had already been on stage for like 2 hours. And they performed one of my favorite songs, actually my favorite song with the song BHD, called Again. And Daisuke's voice was so perfect, and I was on my way to cry, because it was so perfect. I mean, I think a few tears came there during that song, because it was so amazing. And they were talking like, thank you so much for coming, holding hands and everything, like, ooh, thank you, and then they went backstage. That was the encore. And then I was waiting out. I didn't went home. I was like, maybe the members will come out and hang around with the fans for a while. I'm not sure, but maybe that's a chance. And of course, in the end, now I need to read, because this was like a long list here. I was waiting around for an hour. Daisuke were selling merchandise at the merchandise table. Magistina Saga members were also selling merchandise next to them. Hiro and Yu was also behind the merchandise table with Daisuke. And Shihiro were talking to you, and at that moment I realized it really was Shihiro. I didn't so wrong, I mean it was him. So Yu was walking around and talking with fans, and the other members were like behind the merchandise table. Good, nice job, Yu. And while I was sitting down, Yu was looking at me a few times like, I recognize you, you don't want to talk to me. I was like, I will talk to you, but I just want to have a little more private talk with you. I don't want to be in everything in the middle here because all the fans were like everywhere. I was like, I want to be the last fan, the final fan. So it has to take time, but it will be worth it. And let's see, now I need my second paper. Yes, I know it's so many. Let's see, where did it started? I think I started here. And then it was finally my turn when all the fans has actually turned their way out. They went home. And I was ready with my systematic camera, the one I'm recording right now, to take photos. Because the 4GM fans took photos with them, so I thought that, yes, I'm gonna do it as well. So I went to Daisuke first, and I said, was like, I used my Japanese to 100% this time, guys. No English at all included in this one. No Swedish either, for that matter. And so I said to Daisuke, arigato gozaimasu, which means thanks you so much. Kyou wa watashi wa shotto genki de wa arimasen, which means that today I don't feel so well, but I meant like I did my best, even though I didn't feel so well. And he was like, oh, honto? And I was like, shotto nemui, which means I was very, very tired. And he was like, really? And I was like, watashi wa Sweden kara kimashita, which means that I come from Sweden. He was like, oh, sugoi. And then I said, ima nihongo no benkyou shimasu, which means that right now I am studying Japanese language. And he said, ii ne, which means like, nice, good. Arigato ne, thank you so much. And then I said, hi, demo, anata to Yu-san wa shashin wo ii desu ka? I mean, like, could I take a picture with you and you? Is it like okay? And he was like, hi, yes, it's okay. I was like, so no camera with this camera. Hi. And he was like, Yu-san, come here, oide, come here. Yu comes. And then a lady from the merchandise table takes 3 photos with my systematic camera. But my systematic camera was very lazy today. It refused to work with me. For some reason I was so mad and angry. Right now it's working. And Daisuke said maybe it's the lightning, you know, light. So we were changing pose, but still it didn't work. I got 1 good picture out of 3 from this camera. And then I was like, これは新しいと高い camera. I mean, like, this is a new camera and it's very expensive, it still doesn't work. So in that moment I pick up my cell phone. Last need, you know, this is the last thing I want to use, but still. And it actually turned out to be a better picture than I thought, so it was nice. I was holding you and I like this around. And then I said thank you to them. And Daisuke said thank you and went to talk to someone else. And that's why I saw my chance coming to actually be able to talk to you a little bit more private. So I'll get back to that part soon as well. Maza is on fire. Hello, so this is gonna be my final talking part with my concert experience with the sound BHD from yesterday's live at Holiday Osaka. This is the meet and greet part 2, even though I didn't say that the previous part was part 1, but this is part 2. So after I said thank you to Daisuke, I was talking with you and I showed him some old pictures. The reason why I showed him old pictures was because that in 2012 in Sweden, me and my friends went to a convention, Japanese convention there, and we actually met Shihiro and you for 3 days in a row, you know, from concerts and meet and greets and photos and everything. And I thought maybe you will now recognize me, even though this has been like 4 years and 5 months, you know, it was like for 4 months and 4 years and 5 months ago. Sorry about the mix, but 4 years is pretty long time. And I was like, will he remember me, even though we were hanging out, you know, quite a lot during those 3 days? Who knows? So I was like, ゆうさん、この写真は、ちょっと古いでもいいです。スウェーデンの写真です。I was like, these photographs were taken in Sweden. 覚えていますか? I was like, do you remember? So actually, he was standing next to me, and I showed him the pictures. Maybe you can see them. I'm not sure if you can. Yeah, it's getting a little bit blurry. But these pictures were taken with me and Shihiro and you for like 4 years ago. And I was like, do you remember these photos? And he was like, hi, oboite imasu. He actually remembered me. And I was like, oh my god, you remembered me, oh my god. He was like, Sweden. He was like, yeah, I remember, it was in Sweden. I was like, yes, it was in Sweden, hi. And then I said, hi, watashi wa Sweden de Sweden kara kimashita, and everything came down to him. And he was like, yes, that's you, you know, which means like, I come from Sweden, I am a Swedish person. And he said, so this, yeah, that's the way. Sweden wa Kalles caviar ga daisuki. Kalles caviar is a Swedish thing that you eat, and he really loves it. Not many people who is not from Sweden likes it, but he does. And I was like, oh my god, I forgot to bring some with me to Japan when I came here, because I know that he likes Kalles caviar. And I was like, hi, so でも私はKalles caviarは忘れました, which means that I forgot to bring it. But then I said, でも私の妹はKalles caviarを持っていく, which means that my sister maybe will bring some. And he was like, like, really bring some to me. And then he asked me, ima wa nani o shimasu ka? Which means, what are you doing now, like here in Japan? And I said, ima nihongo no benkyou shimasu. Right now I'm studying Japanese language here in Japan, or in here. And he was like, doko desu nimasu ka? Where do you live? And I said, Osaka desu nimasu, which means I live in Osaka. And he was like, Osaka? Like, shocked. And I was like, hi, yes, I live here in Osaka. I've been living here for like 4 months, 5 months almost. And he was like, you said, sugoi ne, ryogakusei, daigakusei. And at that moment I knew what this meant, but it got messed up in my head. I lost my Japanese, which means like, you are a foreign language student, you know, and I forgot what that meant. So in my very, very bad mind, the first thing I came up with was Kansai Senmon Gakko, which is my Japanese language school. And he was like, hi, sugoi, benkyou wa ganbatte. Like, good luck with your studies. I was like, thank you, arigato. And then he was like, mata ne, see you again. I was like, oh yeah, hell yeah, I'm gonna see you again, be sure about that, you know. And I said, hi, mata ne, and you went off. And I was like, oh my god, I met him again. I mean, it was like old times. He hasn't changed a bit since I met him for the first time. I mean, it was like remembering, like, the old memories came back to me, like from when we met in Sweden for like 4 years ago. It was so nice, and I felt very calm, you know, after that. And it was very nice to see him again. I was gonna tell you, I just want to meet him over and over again, because he's such a kind thejrocker, you know. He's one of the kindest I've ever met in my life. I'm just gonna finish off this video because I thought my camera stopped working. Sorry about that last part. I'm just gonna tell you that I'm so happy that I met you again, and can't wait until I will meet him next time again. I hope it will be soon, because he's a very cute guy, as I just probably said before my camera started to kind of do its own thing, like it always does. So I'm just gonna tell that if you want to check them out, please do so. The Zombie HD and Magistina Saga, for that matter. Both of these bands are amazing, and they are on Starwave Records, which is a very good label for JR fans. And I'm just gonna tell that I love both of these bands so much. So to both the Zombie HD and Magistina Saga, domo arigatou gozaimasu. Mata ne. So this will have to end this concert meet and greet experience with the Zombie HD, 2 members out of 4. And yeah, I'm super happy that I could meet you here in Japan again. It feels so weird that I was not in Sweden this time. I mean, he's so cute. I don't find any words for him. He's so pretty. Yeah. And then I basically went outside and I went home. That's what happened, and I went straight to bed because my head wasn't really 100%. But you made it better, I'm just gonna tell you. You and Daisuke made it all better. So, Maza the thejrocker is now out though. See you soon again. Bye bye. Peace out, rock. Hello guys, this is Maza, and I'm gonna show you the merchandise that I bought with the Zombie HD from yesterday. If I do pronounce HD wrong, I'm sorry, because I'm not used to using English letters anymore, and neither Swedish for that matter. So I'm gonna short their band name to the Zombie instead. So I'm gonna show you the merchandise that I bought with them from yesterday's concert at Holiday Osaka. First time ever seeing them live, and they were awesome. We're gonna talk about that one before this clip, so don't get confused. This is the new mini album that I bought called Walking Dead. This is how it looks like, and this is the back side. It's still in the plastic, as you can hear. And you can see you because it's behind here. So that's the CD or mini album that I bought, and I bought their hoodie. Here it's called Packer or something like that, but I'm used to say hoodie, so I don't say hoodie. Walking Dead on the right arm. And this is size L. I think this looked very small to be size L, but I'm glad I took it because otherwise it would have been too small for me. And I like this detail here, how they put this one. HD, the Zombie HD. H. I think I need to practice on this part because I'm not used to say this word in either situation. I have never used this word in English before. I'm just gonna let you know, only in Swedish. And in Swedish you say hådia. And then I bought their towel, which looks like this. Pretty rad because it's black and red. This is the whole towel, if I can get it on picture, and the hoodie as well. Then I received some flyers. This is another jerk band. Oh my god, I think I'm gonna struggle with their band name, I'm sorry. I am a fan of this band as well, but I have struggled to pronounce their band name. Here it is. Magistina Saga. Magistina Saga, yeah, that's how you pronounce it. And then I got a flyer with the Zombie, of course. Here you can see the schedule, and apart they're coming back to Osaka in March, and they're also coming back in Osaka in April. Unfortunately, nothing for May beside of this one, but this one is not in Osaka, so my sister can't go because she's coming in May at the end of April. This is like a questionnaire that you were supposed to fill in, but I for some reason forgot it, so maybe I can fill it in and leave it next time I'll see them live. Bad Maza. Then I got these ones. This is like band that you could take for free. Since I was the last person out from the venue yesterday, I decided to take 3, so I had, memories of this day, which is pretty cool. First time ever I have these ones. This Angel Bank Cafe, which is hanging over there. This is the ticket. Part of the ticket, at least. The other part was taken by the staff. They rip it off here. And then you got a little sticker. And then finally, of course, I'm a Shecky freak, as you know. And this system is pretty rad because Starway Records has very good system when it comes to Sheckies, because they put it in this little thing first, plastic thing, and then when you open it up, it's like the Sheckies are folded into plastic as well. So if you don't have your Shecky album with you, which I didn't have, this is like a perfect solution to not break or damage your Sheckies when you're going home. So this is all of the members. Let's see if my camera can focus. They are upside down, 2 of them. Drummer Hiro and bassist Yu. Here. All of these ones are signed as well. And you have to twist it back, turn it back. Here is guitarist Yu and vocalist, oh my god, vocalist Daisuke Darkside. I think it's pretty cool, this theme that they have, because they're lying around the skeleton, which is so typical them. So guys, this was all the merchandise that I bought this time, and I'm just gonna let you know that now it's not gonna be more concerts for a while, because I need to save my money until my sister comes, so, but I will still make other videos and such. So So thank you so much for watching, guys, and support the Sound B because they're worth it, and also support Magdalena Saga as well. So guys, Maza thejrocker is out though for now. See you later. I love this band so much, by the way. I love all Starwave record bands anyway. Yeah, but for now, Maza thejrocker is out though.